When God wants to make a man powerful, he always shreds him into pieces first. Never forget it's a process with God. Without pain, there would be no growth. So accept the pain. Embrace the pain. Because God is there to ask you, do you really want to achieve your goals? And when you start walking with God, people will stop walking with you. Not because they don't like you, but because you're about to sacrifice things they're not willing to sacrifice. And when God takes you to deep waters, not everyone will be able to swim with you. However, do not confuse movement with progress, because you can run in place but not get anything done. I want you to take a moment and think. Are you moving forward? Who are you taking with? And how are you making things better by God's given power?
Whenever you see a person who has a lot of people in their circle, doesn't mean they're friendly, it means they're careless. See, when your circle is big, it's watered down. Because if you got 3 good friends, you can do more than 10 phony folk in your life. But you need to surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction. People who are not jealous when you win. People who have a prayer life. Somebody who don't have to step over you to be seen when it's your opportunity to be seen. Anytime you invite the wrong person to your table, you become the meal. You are allergic to the things you keep adding to the soup. And you so worried about what everybody gonna say, you let people stay in the gumbo. When you care and you are connected to somebody who's careless, their carelessness will cost you what you care about. Are you making sure that the people in your life actually care about it? The only people you can take with you are the ones who bring the water up to themselves, because they can watch, fight, and pray, which means less than 1% of your circle can go with.
Have you ever heard of the 8+8+8 rule? Distribute your 24 hours into 3 parts to make a good balance sheet of your life. 8 hours of hard work, 8 hours of good sleep, and 8 hours should be spent on 3F, 3H, and 3S. 3F are family, friends, and faith. 3H are health, hygiene, and hobby. 3S are soul service and smile. Save this video for later.
In a season where you're about to enter consecutive wins, but anytime you set a goal, get ready for the defense to come out. I want you to know that anytime God is about to bless you, he's going to first reveal your enemies. He's going to first reveal people that's not supposed to be around you. You're looking around like, man, my friend just turned on that person. Listen, don't worry about it. Get ready. There's a level up that's about to come. Man, my car just broke down. Don't worry. A level up is about to come. There's some things that are happening in your life. They have to happen right now to get you ready for the next level. There's some gratitude he's trying to put in your heart so you get ready for the next level. So don't get afraid when you lose people and people go. You didn't lose them. They were removed. There's a difference. Before you get blessed in the next level, we got to make sure that everybody around you is supposed to be in that next chapter. That's the key. So if you're going through this season and you're not really understanding it, embrace it. Because I promise you, that's symptoms of the level up coming.
Don't never let anybody take your belief in yourself away from you because they hurting inside. Don't you never let nobody do that. Always believe in who you are in the darkest moments, man. In the darkest moments, when you at that pain, when you at the bottom, know that you're going to get back up. But you got to believe that you're going to get back up. You got to believe in it every day.
See, someone out there right now is mad at you because you chose peace over drama, because you chose distance over disrespect, and you chose self-love over self-destruction.
5 facts that are bitter but you have to accept. 1. Hide your sadness because no one cares. 2. Never get attached to anyone. Remember, even your own shadow leaves you when it's dark. 3. Don't be overly kind, forgiving, and overly helpful. People are ungrateful, you will be abused. 4. If there is no loyalty, don't care about that love. And finally, 5. If you want to grow, sit at bigger tables. Spend time with smarter people. Join us to improve yourself every day.
Drop a 100 if you agree.
Let me tell you something. God will take you through troubled waters because your enemies can't swim. People don't abandon people that they love. They abandon people that they were using. Remember who jumped off your ship when God allowed your ship to sink, because you don't lose friends in life. You only find out who the real ones are. Remember that.
The biggest mistake I ever made as a parent, in my opinion, was letting my children go to public school. The second biggest mistake was letting them go to a school at all. The purpose of school is to manufacture employees for businesses. It's not to teach your children to be smart. There's a book that I would recommend highly. It's called Weapons of Mass Instruction. John Taylor Gatto. He was the 5-time Teacher of the Year in New York, and he became totally disillusioned when he realized that the purpose of being a school teacher was not to teach math. I think that maybe he taught English or math. He said, I became disillusioned the day I realized my job was not to teach math, but my job was to teach school. Think about it. In school, they teach you that nothing is important. Well, how do they do that? It's the only place that you will ever work in your life where you work on something for 45 or 55 minutes and then a bell rings and you close your book. You don't care about that anymore until tomorrow. It doesn't make any sense. And the reason they use bells in schools is because that's what they used in the assembly lines. Lunchtime, ring a bell. Okay, go to lunch. Ring a bell again. You come back from lunch. The whole thing was programmed for a stimulus response. We still tell our children, well, if you want to do well in life, you got to go to college, get a degree. Well, the only reason we tell them that is because that's what we're expected to tell them. We haven't really thought about it.
The reason why they're nice to you in private, but they treat you differently in public, is because they talk about you behind your back. And when they slander your name in front of people, they don't want those people to see them being nice to you. Because what does that say about them? Here are 3 things that are probably happening. Number 1, they're secretly in competition with you, and it's a smear campaign. They're being your friend for information. And the second they get information that could ruin you, they are going to spread it like wildfire. This is like a jealous person's favorite move. Number 2, they want to fit in with the people that talk about you. They'll be afraid to associate with you out of the fear those other people will see it, because they'll be shunned and ostracized for being your friend. I saw a lot of comments on this post about those friends that stay silent on social media. This is another component to that. You'll notice those friends take a step back because they don't want those other people to see them under your post or shouting you out in any way. Number 3, they see you as beneath them and they get embarrassed in public. I love your comment because it's true. In my life, I've come across people like this, and what I do is I just cut them off cold turkey. No explanation needed. They know what they're doing. And if you're scared to like me in public, then I don't like you at all. Life is too precious to be around people that are ashamed to be with you.
At some point, you just got to tell people that I love you and I'll love you forever. But I'm no longer interested in the level of love that you have to offer me. Don't get it twisted. I'm not asking you to change. I just need you to know that you can do whatever you want with whoever you want. You just can no longer do it with me.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when I walk out this room. I don't know who God gonna put in my path. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I can tell you one thing. Nothing but good shit gonna happen for me. Abundance.
When people are talking about you behind your back, there will be a lot of hints in your environment that let you know it is happening. Here are 3 signs that someone is gossiping about you. Number 1, people that were once friendly with you become distant and cold with you. There are people that secretly never really liked you, and so they naturally believe anything negative that is said about you without proof. And the rest of the people become afraid to be associated with you. Number 2, you will see a lot of side eyes. When you're in the room and you start looking around, you'll see a lot of this. When people know that you're being talked about, they start to observe you more to confirm whether or not it's true. So they will visually look for that evidence. Number 3, you'll start to feel like anytime people get around a specific person, their opinion of you goes down. I promise you, that is not in your head. And if you're really observant, when the 2 of you are in the same place, you'll notice that they look at you and then they look at the person that talks about you. And you'll start noticing the eye rolls and the smirks because you become an inside joke to these people.
Don't disturb my peace by telling me what somebody else said about me. They told you, not me. And my question is, what did you say when they were talking about me? And why were they so comfortable sharing it with you?
If everybody was so goddamn worried about me, why ain't nobody came to help me? I care if everybody don't cheer for me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not cheering for me for what I'm doing, don't cheer for me. Don't cheer because you think I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? Screw that. Cheer for me for what I'm doing, for what I stand for. And when I go to jail, you should cheer louder. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm standing up for what I do. I'm not robbing nobody, not stealing from nobody. I never took nothing. Everything I do to represent my people. I do because I think this is what they want me to do.
I must be some kind of superhero because I always want to save everybody I love. You know, like Batman. But I'm not Batman, I'm that man. And I have a Batmobile, I got a That cave, and I'm also that. And that's the confidence you have to go to war for the people you love. You gotta be that man. The younger generation gets in the street, starts doing a bunch of crazy shit, thinking they could do the time. They think they could go to jail and do the time till they get there. Once they get there, they were like, had I known that jail is like this, I would have never committed a crime.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with business. You don't know what being a boss is and how painful it is or how much work it is until you have actually been a boss.
You want everything right away. You don't want to work for nothing. You don't want to sacrifice to build nothing. You will never have nothing, and you won't have a man, because a man can't be a man when he's saddled down up to his neck in debt with a dissatisfied woman who don't give a damn. She wants more and more and more. Let me tell you something, woman. We ought to take you and throttle you. I'm just telling you straight up. You don't want no man like me. You couldn't live with a man like me. Because I would not take that damn foolishness from one of you. For 1 minute, I'd drive you through the door. I don't like no woman to dominate no man. And I don't like no woman who even tries. Then you see another side of me.
Some people will trigger you on purpose, just to get a negative reaction out of you. Then they'll take that moment, frame it, and only share your reaction with other people, never mentioning what they did to push you. When this happens, everything in you is going to want to defend and explain the truth, but fight that urge. Because that intentional poking, that framing of your reaction and then telling people about it was only the bait. The real objective is tricking you into showing a version of yourself that they've been creating a false narrative around all along. The real you, without their abuse and manipulation, is nothing like the picture they've been telling people. So, to make their lies appear real, they have to corner you into showing that version. The real you isn't framed in the picture they're selling, but the second you fight them to clear things up, you step into that frame and into their picture of you. If they can document or get you publicly triggered, their behavior cosigns, it aligns, supports their gallery of lies. So as difficult as this sounds, let them frame what's already happened however they choose. You're not prey. You're not to be caught or caught up. Take your frustration and anger and redirect it into yourself. Work hard at giving them nothing. Focus on an even better version of you without their games and immaturity. Absent of all that, the light of your life will shine so brightly that their pictures and frames will be obvious fake news to everyone. And the bonus? Having seen all the people who blindly joined in and gathered around, there's no question who's for you and who's not. So let them all have the frame. In the end, with the right perspective, it ultimately ends up as your favor. Boundary up. I hope this helps.
The way people treat you is the way they treat themselves inside their own head. So when people are mean or nasty to you, remember, that's how they talk to themselves all the time. They have to live with that inner dialogue, that criticism, that judgment, that meanness. So have a little compassion for them and don't let it hurt you so much. Also, when people are able to be kind and loving to you, that's because they're able to be kind and loving to themselves. So if someone's impatient with themselves, they're impatient with others. They're judgmental of themselves, they're judgmental of others. Just remember this so that you don't take on board so much how others treat you. It's really not about you.
Here's one reason why men don't want to open up to women anymore. It's because when they try to air out their grievances with us, we can't hear what they're trying to say. Because we're so busy trying to justify what actually happened or prove that we were right in that moment and that he's wrong, that we can't hear what he's trying to say. Now, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be judgmental because I know from experience as well. But what I've also come to realize is that the only thing that matters in that moment is validating his experience, validating his feelings, his opinions, his thoughts, his requests, if he has them. It's not trying to prove a point. It's not trying to throw things back in his face. It's not trying to throw a temper tantrum. It's none of that. It's just hearing what he is actually saying without throwing a fit. We try to get men to try to open up and be vulnerable and come talk to us and all the things. But if he can't speak what's on his mind and it land in a safe space and him not be judged for it or him not be met back with so much resistance, he's going to take a mental note, store it up, and he's going to move differently in the future. So that's just what it is. Yes, there will be time for you to air out your own grievances and to prove your points. There will be time for that. It's just that it's not right now.
Matching energy no more. Because it simply takes too much energy to match your bad energy. And I'm not fucking up my vibration not 1 second longer. So if there's somebody that you used to see around me and you no longer see them around me, don't ask me about them. Because an enemy can laugh and joke with you for years till they think they got the perfect time to show their true colors. Always remember, a lot of people tell you they got you, but the whole time they got you fucked up.
Message.
You got this. Don't get discouraged because it seems like it's taking you too long to get to that place that was only meant for you. Because your sacrifice and struggle will make the win so much sweeter. But I need you to remember this one thing. Your journey is harder because your calling is much higher.
Keep playing dumb. Yeah, let everybody keep exposing themselves. Just keep playing dumb, Charles. Keep blind man shuffling, nigga. Keep playing blind. Because they think you can't see, but nigga, you got a spiritual sight that most people is unaware of.
To the men, my brothers, my kings, much respect. I respect you, brother, for even though you're not given credit for it, you still take responsibility. I respect you, brother, for knowing who you are. I respect you, brother, because even though you're misused, misunderstood, and sometimes ignored, you continue to move forward. I respect you, brother, because even though the world gives you a reason not to, you continue to fight. I respect you for being strong, even though the pain and the stress you're feeling is real. Trust me, I've been there. Every day you wake up, you go hard for your family, you keep God first, and you find a way to win. You understand the assignment because you know who you are. That's what makes you a leader. No matter where you go, no matter what you face, stand in your manhood. There's areas in your life that need fixing, then fix it. So continue to stand, brother. I respect you, I thank you, and I love you. Believe that.
One day in the gym is basically imperceivable. 2 days in the gym, you don't recognize any change whatsoever. 100 days in the gym, and you're almost a new person, right? You've seen those before and after pictures. One day of playing guitar, you can barely play one chord. 100 days of practicing guitar, and you can play literally almost any song. So we let these things slip. Because it takes so long to see the progress, we let them slip. And when we don't do them, it becomes 0 times 100 or 0 times 1,000. And that nets out to a 0. When you do anything, it adds up. When you do nothing, it amounts to 0. So take the small steps every day. And whatever it is you want to do isn't going to happen in one day. You have work to do. And I know it's just a little bit. I know it's just a little tiny movement forward, but that work is what it takes. So go do it.